Can you like look at my phone case and tell me that you are not in love? My phone case is a fucking lady right now. Like, look at that. Glorious. Glorious. Hi guys. Speaking of ladies, I thought I would do a video talking about my top 5, maybe 10. I don't really remember. Don't know. I haven't made the video yet. Favorite shoujo anime. And this is actually kind of an easy list to do because I don't really watch that many shoujo. I'm just not really, I don't know. I just feel like they're all formulaic and the same. But these ones, although they're kind of a little bit formulaic, I still heavily enjoy them, and yeah. As with any list I do, it's not in any particular order because I don't want to ruffle anyone's feathers. If there's a shoujo that is really popular that I didn't put on the list, spoiler, it's because I've never seen it. So no magical motica because I've never seen it because somebody spoiled it for me. Tumblr. Well, let's begin. I'm wearing 2 shirts because that's how you do it in the hood. So number 10 on the list is the anime series Bokudagaita, or We Were There. And this is actually one of the first shoujo anime that I ever saw. Well, actually it wasn't the first. I should say it was the first non-magical girl shoujo that I ever saw, and I really enjoyed it. It was something that was really new and refreshing to me because it was the first one. And because it dealt with like a lot of like really, you know, mature topics like, you know, losing your virginity and death and like unrequited love and all that jazz. It was a really sweet series about a girl named Nanami who is like a freshman in high school, as they all are, and she falls in love with Yano, this like little playboy that is kind of like really popular in school, as they all do. And then at first she doesn't like him because he's super superficial, but then she like kind of warms up to him. But she finds out as they're dating that he has like a lot of, you know, deep-seated issues, and it's just really deep, and I really thoroughly enjoyed the series. I don't really remember much from it because I seen it many moons ago. Holy crap, it's been so long since I've seen this series, but I loved every second of it because it dealt with it felt like a real, like, it felt like it could happen, but not really. It probably couldn't happen. It was way too overly dramatic, but whatever. So number 9 on the list is the series Peach Girl, and as an adult looking back on it, I would probably give this anime the biggest side eye of all time because it is so atrociously ridiculous and stupid. But as an impressionable teenager, which I was when I watched this show, I fucking ate that shit up like it was breakfast or something. I loved this shit out of Peach Girl. And this series is about a girl named Momo who, because she was on the swim team for most of her life, she developed dark skin or tan skin and like light hair because of the chlorine. And because of that, she got made fun of because she's the exact opposite of Japan's standard of beauty, which is like dark hair and fair skin. And because of this, she develops a complex, and she's always scared of like people always mistake her for like a ganguro or like a gyaru, and they always misjudge her. The thing that I loved about the series was not really so much for the love in it, because it was so ridiculous and obnoxious. It was more so because of the frenemy evil antagonist side. She is the evilest bitch probably in the history of all anime. Like, she's crazy. This bitch was literally crazy. It's like this episode where Momo thinks she's about to go on like this photo shoot, but instead Sae sends her to like this porno shoot, and they like lock her in. They're like, you're gonna do this porn. She like goes out with this dude, and she really loves him, and then she thinks that she's pregnant, and then everybody's like, oh my god, Sae's pregnant. And then they go and they find out, like, the doctor's like, you're not pregnant, you just have this condition where you stimulated pregnancy. Like, she had like all the symptoms of pregnancy, but it was just all in her mind because she's a crazy bitch. It's the most ridiculous, over-the-top anime of all fucking time, and I loved every fucking second of it. Number 8 on the list is the anime Mew Mew Power. Number 7 is a fairly recent shoujo series. I think it came out like last year, and I just recently finished it like a couple of months ago, and it is called Say I Love You. And you know, to be honest, the only reason why I watched this series was because of a suggestive Tumblr gif where it looked like they were both naked, and I was like, oh wow, they're gonna have sex in this? Yes. so I decided to watch it. But spoiler, they never have sex. And it's about a girl named May who never had a boyfriend or any friends in general, because there was like an incident when she was younger where she had friends, but they all used her and they just all mistreated her. So she just felt like she couldn't trust anyone. So what's the point of having friends? And it isn't until one day she meets the really most popular guy in high school, Yamato. And I think I forgot what he does, but she roundhouse kicks the shit out of him, and he falls in love with her. That's one thing I really liked about the series, it wasn't May falling in love with Yamato, it was the guy falling in love with the girl, and I really liked it. And he's like trying to get her attention throughout the whole series. Even though it was, yes, like a love story, I like to think of it more as a story about friendship and relationships in general, not just, like boyfriend girlfriend type thing. It was more had to do with like her branching out and like realizing that she can trust people and that there are good people in the world. It's a mature series too. It's kind of like Bokudagaita, except less overly dramatic, and it's really cute. Number 6 is probably the best fucking magical girl anime ever. Maybe not ever, but it's one of my favorite magical girl anime, and that is Shugo Kyara. Although we're not going to talk about Shugo Kyara Doki Doki, don't ever mention that. Shugo Kyara is about this girl named Tina Moriyamu with dazzling pink hair, who is like this badass bitch of her school. Like everyone's scared of her because she's like super cool and spicy, and like she says it like she means it. She doesn't care, she never holds back, and there's like these rumors about her that she's like this badass that like beats the shit out of people and like does a bunch of like crazy shit but in all actuality she's just like this, normal girl, and she just wants to be seen as a normal girl, and she's like hiding her true feelings or her heart. And all kids hold an egg in their soul, the egg of our hearts, our would-be selves, yet unseen. The fact that I've memorized that fucking opening sequence is really weird. Every person has like the person that they want to be, but they're afraid to be. And this series is about, these like little eggs, like these little baby eggs that everyone has that shows them what they could be like if only they went out for their dream. And if you kind of like doubt yourself, a negative heart comes out, and like the fucking eggs thingies give her like magical powers, and then she like has to like make people find like the good in their hearts, and then she like meets all these people, and it's like Iketo, and just I can't really describe it. It's just it's the most perfect anime. Like I was so in love with this series as a kid. Like I loved every second of it. It's probably one of my favorite shoujo, magical girl animes of all time. I think it's probably one of the most mature magical girl anime that I've ever seen. And I know what you're thinking, it's not that mature. Have you ever seen Magical Mojika blah 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 blah? No, I've never seen it. So for me, it's the most mature one. I've only seen like Mimi Power and Sailor Moon, and they're kind of mature. It's so perfect. Iketo was like the prince of all of my life. I just loved Iketo. Fruits fucking Basket. Now I talked about this in my last video about disappointing anime. So everybody knows what Fruits Basket is about a girl named Toru Honda who lost her mother in a car crash, and she has nowhere to go. She was meant to stay at her like uncle or grandpa's house or something, but she doesn't want to be a burden, so she lives in a tent, and the tent that she lives in happens to be in the backyard of the Soma family, which is like this family that has been cursed by something like the horoscopes, and they're like every time they touch the member of the opposite sex they turn into animals, and it's like so awesome. This series is so perfect. I love the shit out of the series. I think Toru has to be one of the most greatest / perfectest female protagonists in all of anime, because for me, I don't know, maybe because I'm just sexist, I guess, like for the most part a lot of like female protagonists, especially in shoujo, just really irk the shit out of me. I don't know why, with the exception of the people on this. The reason why this list exists is because the protagonist didn't really fucking piss me off. And Toru is like one of those perfect characters that you literally cannot hate. Nobody, like, how could you hate Toru? If you hate Toru, you're literally the devil, because she's perfect. And it's like this love story about Kyo and Yuki, just to find out who she's gonna go out with. But for me, I didn't really care so much about the love triangle or whatever, although obviously she's gonna end up with Kyo. Actually, I don't really know, I didn't finish the manga, but I think I kind of know who she ends up with, but don't tell me, please! Even more so than the love story, a lot of, like, every character had, like, their own background story, which was very deep and sad, especially Kyo's. I don't want to spoil anything, but he's a cat. We all know a cat isn't a part of the 12 zodiacs. Why is there a cat? Exactly. It's just a super sad, super funny. It's like super funny and then super sad and then super sweet. Like, it's just super. Oh my god, Fruits Basket.